Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And each week on this show, I bring on incredible guests, and we bring you amazing content and the latest news how to live with inspiration, education, and empowerment. We want to inspire, empower, and educate you wherever you are in your life, especially and including any transitions. And today is a very special day. And I know all these shows are special. Every one of them is special to me. I hope they are to you. But today I have an extraordinary woman in the virtual studio with me who is, oh my gosh, she is a woman who wears many hats. She is a powerful leader and change agent in the world, and she's an extraordinary woman. And we're going to talk about women and leadership and technology and what she says, walking on the edge. Her name is Kimberly King. I will share more about her and who she is and her background as she joins us in the studio in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, I wanted to tell you what our title of the show is today. Our theme today is the world needs more women leaders. And I think the world needs more leaders in general. But since we have such a large following of women, I wanted to highlight women in this episode today and talk to you about your power, your strength, your knowledge, your wisdom, your gifts, your ability to show up and serve in the world and really live the dreams that you have in your mind, to serve the way you want to serve, to create the way you want to create, to just be an inspiration to yourself so that you can be an inspiration to others. And Kimberly King is that for me. I'm so grateful to have her on the show. I've been watching her for a while in awe and wonder. And so she is, let me tell you, sit down, get out a pen and paper, because everything she says is gold. Like there's so many write downables when she speaks. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what she's doing, how she's doing in the world, her background story, challenges she's overcome, how she feels today, what's important to her, and then where we see ourselves going in the next 1 to 2 decades as someone who's really entrenched in technology. She's going to have a lot of insights on that. So before we get into that, let's do our weekly intention statement. Again, I have today to be a strong leader in the world. We're focusing on strong leadership. I have today to be a strong leader in the world. Claim that, put your stake in the ground, be that leader that you are to your highest, greatest, fullest potential. And one of the things that we do is with our intention statements every single week, my amazing team creates gorgeous graphics. And on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, you can go to my Instagram page and there's a little button that says wallpapers there. And when you go there, you're going to see all this beautiful artwork that's there. Hang on, let me get there really, really quickly. You just hit the wallpaper page and then there they are. Whoop. And what I want you to do, for those of you who are watching, you can see, but for those of you who are listening on the podcast, you can go there and there are a plethora of them. I think we have well over 100 on there of intention statements for you. But the purpose of that is I want you to take a screenshot of it and use it as your screensaver, because how we make changes in our life is through repetition. We need to be constantly reminded. So if it says on your phone on the screensaver, I have today to be a strong leader in the world, and you are looking at that this whole week until our next episode, you're going to see that thing over 1,000 times, since we look at our phones probably on average 150 times a day. What a great way to anchor it and allow yourself to become it. Yeah, that's right. I am a strong leader in the world. I am a strong leader in the world. So that's what we do for you. So you can find those on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. All right. So I'm going to share some highlights about what's going on here at I Have Today, because we have a few things going on here. We've got a live event coming up in July 27th, 8th, and 9th. That's called Star Academy Live. That is going to be our 3-day virtual event. And it's not a Zoom call. It is actually an event experience where I'm going to teach you how you can launch and star in your own TV show, just like I'm doing right here. And this is geared towards women who are running a business, who are mission driven, who have a focus and an emphasis on helping other people, especially women. Your business is going well, but you really want to take your business to the next level and build more credibility and authority and be known as the leader in your niche or industry. And one of the best ways to do it is having a platform like your own TV show. And so I'm going to have more information about that. I just wanted to put the dates out there. It's going to be really exciting. We've got some great speakers and celebrities coming. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of amazing community. So, but I'm going to have more information at the end of the episode today, where you can actually attend one of my classes, my master classes, where I'm going to teach you the basics that you need to know on how to start and how you can do it. So that's coming up. Now we're getting ready for Kimberly to come on the stage with me right now. But before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsor. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right, we are back, and Kimberly is in the studio with me. Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, Diane. So great to be here.
So great to be here. So let me just say this for the audience. I should have said this before, but let me say it right now. You know, where you can find our TV show I Have Today is on the E360 TV network. We are live there every Monday at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, but we're also live simultaneously on YouTube and on my Facebook page. Both of those are called I Have Today with Diane Forster. And if you're watching us right now and you want to ask questions or have comments, the place to do that is on my Facebook page. Now, we're also available everywhere E360 is streamed. So that's Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android, and every other place that it's available. But we also have our podcast, which is called I Have Today with Diane Forster, and that's available on all podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to audio. So that's where you can find us. All right. So here we go, Kimberly. Okay, so before we get into the interview, I want to share with the audience just a little bit about you, because you have quite an extensive background. So Kimberly King is a strategist, futurist, international speaker, and media host, and a passionate champion for co-creating a better world. She's the founder and CEO of a consulting firm called Human Tech and other organizations, and she wears many hats, both by intention, love that word, and design, but she considers herself an impact entrepreneur, which basically means she's a purpose-driven creator and innovator. Wow, so impressive. Well, it is so delightful to have you here. And one of the things, you know, we're going to talk about a lot about leadership today. We're going to cover a lot of things. But I first want to hear, and I know we all want to hear, you know, you do wear so many hats. You have done and are doing so many things. And so what's your story? How did you get into what you're doing? What was your journey?
Well, again, thank you so much for the invitation, Diane. I've been tracking your star and your contributions across the platforms and across the world as well. So it's always a privilege to meet another who is daring to put ourselves out there in a leadership chair and in a servant leadership chair, which is really what it's about to me. And I think the things that I want to share, because we are all figuring out our journeys and who we are and what it is we have to contribute, that we all have a backstory. Nobody just arrived, and nobody has arrived for that matter. We're all still becoming. But a little bit about my background that I'll tie in is that I'll call it an accidental or incidental entrepreneur. And I will say an incidental social entrepreneur or impact entrepreneur, because that word didn't exist yet. But when I look back with hindsight, I realize that not only was an entrepreneur born in my early days, but someone who needed both of those pieces to come together. That social entrepreneur was born the day I learned that I could build a business, make money and a career, and do good all at the same time. I did not have to choose between them, even though I was told I had to. But you don't. I'm here to tell you, you can do it all. It's called alignment and intention, which is a word we both love, Diane. I will add that I started my first company when I was 21. And today that's not unusual, but when I was 21, that was unusual. And it was a solar company. So that's really a construction business as well as a technology. And I didn't think of it as a technology. I just thought it made perfect sense that they had this means to put a panel on a roof of a home or business. It would convert it into virtually free energy and pay for itself. And at the time, the government had incentives to get you to do it. So no matter how you looked at it, it was a good deal. And it made sense to me. I'd love to say I was so conscious that I thought I would save the planet. I wasn't. I was looking for the vehicle to do something I was passionate about and change my own life. Only after I realized that I was actually helping the planet. Yeah. I was helping people. And internally, I made sure and helped all the people I worked with. And I believe in rising together. I believe that was actually the secret sauce, that I could be passionate without apology, and that I understood that the only way to rise is to rise together. And so we did.
So true. I love that. And you know what? You didn't know it wasn't for philanthropic reasons. And I love that you did love the concept of what that meant. So that part of the heart was there for sure. And I believe that too in rising together. I think it's so important that everybody, every step of the way, every level has a very, very important role. And their voices matter, their opinions matter, and that we do rise higher and faster together. 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard many times now, it's much more common, but early in my life, I heard the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. And that's true. It is faster to go alone. And there are some things I do where going fast matters, and I do. But if you want to go far, and I do, and we do, then go together. Together is the only way we have the staying power and the collective power to truly do transformative work in our world. So when I understood that my dreams are connected to the dreams and the possibility of the world at large, what can be better than that?
Right.
And it was true. and it's still true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm not skipping your whole life, but I want to go to right now. I want you to talk about everything you're involved in right now. Tell us about human tech. Talk about the work that you're doing right now, because you do wear many hats. Let's talk about those hats.
Okay. Well, human tech, as the name implies, as a futurist, as well as a consultant and business advisor in public and for profit, both sides of the coin. It's important that humans come first in the world of tech. And part of the fear and many of the complaints about technology is that it's perceived to be technology for technology's sake. It's perceived to be the nemesis of human good, and it can be. I want to be real about that. It can be. And that's why with great opportunity comes great responsibility. But human tech believes that technology is part of the extension of our human superpowers. That as the problems of the world accelerate, so too must be our ability to accelerate solutions. To consciously do it is the prayer and the hope for me, is that if we come together as an accelerator, we use the technology, which are insights given to us, I believe, that we're discovering them because we need these tools. These are the tools of our time. And that in our hands, we have the ability to co-create the world we want. And one of my taglines says, humanity plus technology equals impact. Add with care.
Yeah.
As far as other hats, if I'll throw a little bit more logs on the fire.
Yes.
You mentioned at the beginning, I wear them by intention and by design, because otherwise it would simply be activity. Too many things happening. There is a synergy and a conscious connection, an intentional synergy between the things I choose, so that they are constantly feeding one another and feeding off one another, because most things don't happen in one place, one way. So I work across sectors and industries and across disciplines. I work across regions of the world, and I work across global issues. I work with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 SDGs are global goals. It's like a super blueprint of all society, every issue we face around the world, and 196 countries, I believe, 193, 196 have agreed on this. So that's pretty good consensus. But none of them stand alone. You can't solve poverty without education, just to use a simple example. You can't create smart cities without alignment of every part of life that goes on. So working in all those areas, wearing all those hats, is simply a necessity for doing the work holistically. Mm-hmm. For me, it's always a whole system, whole vision, whole purpose. You may see me with my yellow hat on today in the foreman, and my goggles on in VR tomorrow. I'm doing the same work. It might look different, but it's all toward the same goal. A better world is up to us. Mm. And we can walk in any door and help that work get done.
I love that. I love that big picture vision that you just drew for me and for everybody else. And you're right. They all are connected, and they do all work together. And the more knowledge and experience and understanding you have of that, the higher the elevation, so that you can see the big picture and be able to figure out solutions and ways to address it in a very smart, strategic way. I love that so much. I know
That's
I
really
try.
why I call myself a strategist,
Yeah.
because I could not possibly, no one has the capacity as an individual country, individual company, nonprofit. No one is omnipotent and no one has the capacity to do everything.
Right.
But if you care to, we can go up in elevation together. Just like the moonshot, when they said it's the first time Earth could see herself in a
Yes.
picture. We are able to take perspective and see ourselves, our life as a universe, our community as a universe, our planet, or the universe itself, literally, that it's seeable to enough degree that we can get our bearings, that we can be intentional. Strategic is intentional. Strategic says, I understand the parts and how I make alignment and leverage. Those are sweet words to me because they mean I can take my little self and do great things, because there is a physics and a metaphysics to succeeding, to building, to transforming things. There really is.
I love you. You're so speaking my language. You're saying all the words I love. I love alignment. I love leverage. I love intention. And that's why you and I, this is why we're here together today. We just knew, the universe brought us together for a reason. And I really wanted to highlight and showcase you, because you are truly a remarkable leader in the world. And when I named the show, the world needs more women leaders. The reason I did that is because you're just, a shining example of what's possible, because now you dare to dream, and you dare to do. And I wish more women had that ability. And I was going to ask you, why don't you think there aren't more women leaders in the world? And I will pose that to you, and I know we'll get into a great conversation here about it. What are your thoughts about that?
I love that question, actually. And it has changed somewhat over my life as I became one of those women leaders, whatever that was. I'm a female, I'm trying to lead, I'm learning. And there's a quote that says, I'll be happy for the day when we strike the word female CEO or woman leader and just say CEO, leader.
Yes.
Human being their best human. But in the meantime, there is evolution of culture, of language, of capacity individually and together. And make no mistake, we're seeing some of it in our country again today, no matter where people stand on issues or debates. If you want to have a world that works for all, you need everybody, all, to have a seat at the table.
Yes.
And traditionally, and up until now, the table has not been equitable by race, by gender, fill in the blank. And there's also a saying about women hold up half the sky. I was part of the Half the Sky initiative. Women have always held up half the sky.
Yeah.
We still do at least half, but we'll go with half. But women, frankly, were not acknowledged as leaders. They were not admitted into many rooms as leaders. They're still not. And until that math happens naturally, we'll keep speaking about that. But so I want to clarify, The world does need more women leaders. And as you said, more leaders, period. And leader is something you can do from the back of the room as well as the front of the room. And it requires absolutely no title whatsoever.
Right.
Titles are helpful, but they are not essential to be a leader.
Mm.
And many with titles, I don't consider leaders, if I were to be really direct.
Right.
But women at the table, we need more.
Mhm.
Women no longer downplaying who they are and what they know. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Women understanding that they owe it to themselves and to the world to step into their rightful place as full partners in business, in community, in the world. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the world to do it now. No apologies, no waiting.
I could not agree with you more. And I feel so passionate about it too, because my whole mission here with I Have Today and what we're building here is, and my mission statement, I say it boldly, I dare to say it, is, I'm committed to seeing that 1 billion women who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose so that they can really be living to their highest, greatest, fullest potential. As a woman who went through whatever all the things that I went through to get me to have this, this brand and this empire, dare I say, of creating this platform of transformation and personal development, focused on them, is because of my past and my journey, but getting tapped. You need to do this, Diane. You, from Spirit spoke to me, and I went, whoa, okay. Well, I'm going to need a little guidance. I'm going to need a little bit of support, but I have to be confident enough, vulnerable enough, curious enough, and brave enough to explore this where it's going and keep my eye on that. I don't want to say prize, but keep my eye on that bullseye of that North Star of where we're going. And I don't know. I mean, I know you, and I know we're in certain communities together where there's strong, and again, we're talking women leaders, but we mean leaders in general, where there are strong women. But I don't know many personally. This is personally, in my world, who speak the way I do. So that tends to make women, and again, I'm making a generalization here. This isn't all women by any means, downplay their dreams, their goals, their desires, their wishes, their visions, their ideas. They downplay them. Where I don't find that with a lot of men. And I find that in my conversations with, in business interactions, things like that, it just seems to me that things happen faster in terms of partnerships, relationships, more with men than women. Like the scale is tipped this way right now. And my hope and goal is that you and the work you do and collectively, that it does even out, and that you're right, everybody does have a seat at the table. And our visions and missions are expedited, faster, easier, better because of the collective working together.
Yes. Well, I agree that there's still programming, and some of it's generational. You can see remnants of it that I hope every little girl born today has less.
Yeah.
Less, has it in her DNA, less. But it's also cultural programming, what is pleasing and appropriate for a female style, and what is expected and admired in a male style.
Yeah.
The truth is, as we know, we all have masculine and feminine. I like my quote masculine energy just as much as I like my feminine. And I had to learn about them. It sounded ridiculous at first that I would be a woman needing to come into my feminine journey, but I did.
Mhm.
To learn how to sit in the seat of my true feminine power and never condemn the agency and moxie and dare that they attributed to my masculine. Well, first of all, anybody who knows a mother of any kind, or just a woman, you don't have to have bore children for this to be true, but it's especially visible. That's why they call it mama bear energy. Yeah. Mama bear is fearless. And
Yeah.
so is feminine energy.
Yeah.
We are not weaker. We are the most powerful force yet to be fully unleashed on this planet
Yes.
in sacred partnership with masculine, not in competition. I love, appreciate, respect, adore the men in my life, the mentors in my life who've been men, the partners that I have around the world. But when we stand together and both of us put our shoulder to the plow, as it were, both of us feed the vision, that's unstoppable. And it's the way it was really designed to be. It's
Mhm.
broken when it's not doing that.
Yeah.
We're fixing something broken so that we can go whole, fearless, and together into the future that is our birthright. But we can't until we break the misalignment. But
Mhm.
that's within our power. We can choose it and we can do it. That's why it's hopeful.
Right.
We have the power to change that picture, and we must.
We
We must.
must. We
Yes.
must. And you're making strides and efforts towards that every day, which is why I admire you so much. And we're having the conversation, which is good. And that leads to solutions and opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
I so appreciate that. I want to, you know what? I want to tap into your tech background because I am the least tech person. And listen, I'm a big manifester and I know to watch my words. But um, I'm intrigued by it, but it's not, doesn't come natural to me. Actually, I think it's my vibration and my energy. I sort of repel it. It's one of those things like, I feel that energy. So, and there's so many ways of tech, but the world has changed so much, Kimberly, in the last, since the start of this century, even before, but really rapidly, it's changing so fast. What do you think about that? And where do you see us going in the next decade or two? What do you think that looks like?
Well, that's a story we're all writing together now.
Yeah.
There are forecasts, but nobody has a real crystal ball because there's all sorts of twists and turns ahead. They always are. But we can make our best guess. And I love quotes, as you notice. One of them is the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Mhm.
So that's why I put my energy there. I call myself a futurist and I live in that world, but I'm mostly trying to hedge my bets by creating the future I want, not just hoping it comes. But I will tell you first, I want to step back because you speak for so many, including me, when you say technology and me or not. I can code a little bit, mainly because I felt I should know how. And I built some links in the blockchain. I like to touch how you make the thing, but I can tell you that is not my gift. And I would be wasting the skills I do have by trying to diagnose that technology means I need to know this part or this part. People who migrate to it, they have a knack for it. They put in the work and the discipline. It's not just a knack, it's work. But some are built to be geniuses at it.
Mm-hmm.
That day hasn't come for me yet. But I tell people this: I don't know how to make the watch, but I do know what time it is.
Yes.
And I'm part of my job is messenger. I'm not the only one, but I'm listening. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to hear and see and try and galvanize so that each of us in our individual genius will step in and do our parts. That's why we're talking about leadership. But I gave a really fun talk to some dynamic young entrepreneurs and startups in Barcelona several years ago at the Imagine Center, which is an incubator accelerator, and they work all over the world. It's very cool. But they invited me to address their cohort and said, we'd like you to give a Silicon Valley presentation. And I'm not sure what that means they want from me.
Right.
But they wanted me to talk about disruptive technology
Mm-hmm.
and Airbnb, Uber. There was a very predictable thing they wanted me to rally. And as I began to do that, I looked at their faces, the promise of each of them with very dynamic startups as well, ideas, innovations. And I thought, I didn't just think, I said, why do you want to copy or follow in the footsteps of anywhere or anyone? You don't need to be the next Silicon Valley or the next whatever. Be the awesome Barcelona system. Be the dynamic contributor, innovator, inventor that you are. And then I looked them in the eye and said, the most disruptive technology that will ever change the world is you. Mm-hmm. Each of us is a technology in action. We are wired uniquely with contributions only we can make. Mm-hmm. Put that disruptive technology to work and watch the world transform before your very eyes.
Well said. I could not agree with that more. I cannot. Yeah, listen, you've done so much, and I'm not belittling or downplaying mine. I'm definitely not, because I've done a lot of creating. What?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat. I think this is formidable.
Yeah.
I launched 1 Billion Women initiative years ago, and I'm like, I'm going to meet you at the billion, Diane.
Yes,
Forster.
I know that. And there's, I do a lot of mindset coaching. I help a lot of women get all of that in check. And really what I call is, let's get rid of the dandelions and open up the bed of roses, because it's way more fun to be in that space. And I love the way you just phrased that. I'm going to paraphrase that in the future, because that is the most innovative technology, is you, each individual, because nobody sees what's in your mind. No two minds are alike. We receive what we receive. And I like influence. I like education. I like studying and seeing what other people are doing. But I like marching to the beat of my own drummer and going down my own path. And that has served me well in my life. Trust me, it hasn't been perfect. Lots of other things happen. But I learned so much by, it's not me being like a child saying, stomping my, feet on the ground going, I'm going to do it my way. But my mantra is always, I just want to see where this goes. I want to see where this goes. And I love that you just said that. That's so powerful, because we truly are where it's going, and the greatest innovation is you.
It
Two.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and when we talk about where we headed,
Yeah.
and there's so much conversation now, metaverse, Web3, blockchain, NFTs. And I tell people I'm this hybrid. I'm both a long timer, been in this conversation 20 plus years, and a newbie student taking notes constantly as in this rapidly, exponentially accelerating space.
Yeah.
And whether people like it or not, the genie's not going back in the bottle.
Nope.
So don't waste your energy on that part. Put your energy toward putting the genie to work in the
Yes.
right direction, toward positive innovation. Put your energy there. And yes, still go outside, live your real life. This is not a call to abandon real life. This is a call to use the tools of our time, the technologies of now, and more that will come. And I just described it in a webinar I was in last week. We have the ability to imagine the future before we get there, to model it forward with these tools, try it out, tweak it without all the investment and the trial and error. You can trial and error in a controlled environment. It won't eliminate trial and error of life, but it will accelerate learning. It will accelerate modeling. It will accelerating cross-discipline, cross-industry collaboration by reducing, in some cases erasing, financial reasons not to. Now it's about, are we willing to share? That's the big question for humanity, in my opinion, is will we?
Yeah.
Will we allow each other to come into each other's assignments, visions, dreams, pieces of the puzzle? Will we understand that as big as my piece is, as much as I love it, it's still a piece of a puzzle greater than me? If you get that right, you'll have the fulfillment of your piece of the puzzle unique to you, and you will have the journey of a lifetime of transformation of something grand and great that each of us came to do. I don't just say that to make for interesting speaking, Diane.
Right.
I'm trying to remember that every day. I'm
Right.
trying to do my piece of that every day, because what's the alternative?
Right.
I
Well,
don't
you're
know. I want to do this alternative.
Yes, I agree. And you're so humble and beautiful and so powerful. I really just admire you. All right, I need to ask you a question that I ask all my guests, and that is, how do you live the I Have Today way? And if you don't mind, say your name first and then start it with I have today too. And let's hear how you do it.
My name is Kimberly King, and I have today to dare to be my authentic self. I have today to use my talents, my gifts, my genius, even my flaws. I have today to put them all into practice to make a difference in the lives of others. I have today to use my power to change the world, starting with my own.
So beautiful. Thank you for that. That was fabulous. Oh, I felt it in my heart. Okay, we're going to show we're going to have links in the description, and then we have a ticker running on how people can find out more information from you. But I want to ask you one final question: is there something else that one final piece of advice or nugget or quote that you want to leave us with today?
I would advise, invite, and challenge that the same dare I just made to myself that I have today to make a difference, that every person listening, every person born, came here with the exquisitely unique set of traits, qualities, talents, and genius that truly only they have. I invite you, I implore you, use you. Use the technology for you. Believe in it. Believe in its unique capacity to contribute and create value. Use it for highest good, your highest self, your highest contribution. Take that seriously and joyfully, and use your life for good. It's what you came for.
That was really beautiful. And I felt that, and it pierced me because that's how it should be used. Not in a self-serving way. And not that there's anything wrong with getting pleasure and, enjoying the technology, but how are you really using it? Are you using it for you, for the better? Well said. Well
When
said.
we use it for the better, we enjoy it.
Yes.
We get our dreams. Don't let
Yes.
anybody tell you it's either or. It's not.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. Dare go make that so. I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, Kimberly, thank you so much for being here today. It's been an honor and a privilege to have you here.
Same here, Diane. This was a long time coming and well worth the wait. I look forward to more conversations online and off. I appreciate everything that you're doing. You're a beautiful role model and leader in your own right, and it is my honor to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, yes, we will definitely be talking offline as well. So I feel great. I feel great collaboration in our future and friendship too.
Same.
So, all right. We'll see you soon. Take care.
You. Bye.
Bye. God, she's such a wealth of information. She's amazing. Her heart, she's so articulate. The way she expresses herself is so powerful. And she is a true force for good and leader in this world. So I highly recommend that you all follow her. Hey, Sherry, can you put up the ticker for that again? Because I want to say it out loud for those who are listening in the audience on ways to find out more about Kimberly. HumanTechLabs.com, OneIslandInstitute.org, IWThinkTank.org. You can find her on LinkedIn. She's at Kimberly King, the number 2, and Instagram, the Kimberly King. So a couple more there as well. So we will have all those links in the show notes. If you are here watching it, they'll be in the description area on E360 TV, also on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't mind. Subscribe there. Go to I Have Today with Diane Forster. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get notified every time we have a new episode, and our other videos are there, and our mantra meditations are there. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And I'm so grateful to have this conversation with her because she is so humble and beautiful. So, all right, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to talk to you. I want to show you a video right now. And then we're going to get into our word of the week. So take a look at this video right now. Hi there. So are you ready to become a TV personality? Well, if this is something you've been thinking about, then I have an opportunity for you. But first, let me tell you who this is for. This is for you if you are a woman professional, you're over 40, and your business is going well, and you want to add TV hosting to your list of talents. You're also very passionate about helping women with the work that you do. You want to be known as the go-to expert in your niche, and you feel like you're ready to add TV hosting. You just don't know how to do it. Well, I'm Diane Forster, and I am hosting a free masterclass called Launch and Host Your Own TV Show, where I am going to teach you the system that builds your credibility. It teaches you how to attract clients, customers, advertisers, sponsors, and audience. It also will help you get on other people's stages and audience and really build your credibility as a celebrity in your industry. And you can do it in 4 easy steps in about 4 hours a month. Now, I have 40 years background in advertising and media sales. And when women kept asking me, I want to do what you do, I took that sign seriously. And so I created it in this simple, easy to follow masterclass. And it's absolutely free. So go to dianewebinar.com to register to get into this free masterclass while it's available. And again, this is for you ladies, if your business is already successful, but you're really ready to add TV hosts to your list of talents and start serving the world in a much bigger way. So I'll see you inside the masterclass. Take care. Bye-bye. So make sure you join us there at dianewebinar.com if you've ever thought about launching and starring in your own show. Okay, so before we get into the mantra meditation, I just want to give you the word of the week really quickly because I think it's really powerful today. So the word of the week that we want to remove from our vocabulary is the word trepidation. Trepidation is that stepping forward and back and yeah, I want to do it, but I'm scared. You know, you have the goals, you have the dreams, you have the desires, you have the vision, you have all the things that we talk about on the episode today, but you're playing it small and safe because you have fear and doubt and you're afraid. You're afraid what other people will think. You're afraid you don't know what you're doing. You're afraid you might make mistakes. You're afraid you might fail. That is part of the journey. That is how we learn. That is how we learn to walk and how we've pretty much learned everything in our lives. And so how does a goal get achieved? You know how to make a goal happen? You know, after the goal is achieved. That is the only way you know. Like Kimberly said, you know, we're all, you know, our own unique people, and that we're really the best thing in innovation is us. We're all unique. No 2 goals are achieved the same way. They really aren't. So what if instead of trepidation, you replace that word with the word trust? And trust that you are on your path. You are never off of it. And that part of your journey and part of this earthly experience is to experience. And so how you achieve a goal is you just don't take your eye off of the goal and you believe in it. You affirm it. You talk about it. You commit to things. Kimberly's committed to, you know, touching 1 billion lives. I'm committed to touching 1 billion lives. Do I know exactly how I'm going to do that? No, but I trust that the universe will provide the way and show me the way and light it up for you. So what is that thing for you? What is that goal, dream, and desire, or all of them that you are not moving towards today in this day? That is the only thing you have right now is this day. What if you trusted that it's actually going to happen? So replace your trepidation with trust. All right, with our last couple of minutes, let's do a quick mantra meditation. This is how we end every episode. I'm going to do it pretty quickly because we're running out of time, but that's okay. It'll still be powerful. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, obviously, if you're driving, you can't do this, but for everybody else, put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your lap, and close your eyes. And we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, and we're going to hold it for 8 seconds. And as you're holding it for 8 and counting, I want you to send energy to your 8 chakras, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and your soul star, because that one is really important. It's about 1 foot above your head, and the light there is white. So let's do that. Let's all close our eyes. Oh, wait, let me finish. And then once you hold and count to 8, then I want you to breathe out for 8 seconds as if you're blowing out birthday candles, and anything toxic in your body, does not matter what it is, you are blowing it and releasing it. Let's do that 2 times. Here we go. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out for 8. Feels so good. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe it out for 8. And listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I am truly the most powerful source in the universe. I am special. I am unique. I am talented. I am here for a reason, to make the impact and service I came here to do in this human experience. I have today to be a strong leader in the world and leader in my life. Doesn't matter if I'm in the front of the room or the back of the room. Doesn't matter if I have a seat at the table or I don't. I'm going to live by Kimberly's words. She is an incidental entrepreneur, and she understands the power of leverage, alignment, and intention. And now I do too. I want to use all that I have, all that's available to me and for me, for the greater good. Because when I do that, life just gets better and better and better. I'm not going to live in fear or doubt or insecurity. I'm going to live with curiosity and excitement and positivity, that I can create any life I want, and I can make as big an impact on the world as I desire. The only limits I have is my ability to dream, and I am daring to dream the biggest dream possible. So on this day and every day forward, I'm going to live with that intention. I'm going to live with this mantra in my heart. I'm going to be the leader I was born to be and came here to be, with no limits, no excuses. And I'm going to surround myself with community and support, because I can go far on my own, but together we can go so much further. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank Kimberly King for being my guest today. I want to thank you all for being here. Be sure to follow me on social media. My website is dianeforster.com. Social media is Diane Forster Official. And the TV show is I Have Today with Diane Forster. You can catch it on TV and on the podcast. That's it for this week's episode. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.